Good morning everyone. Welcome to Chemistry Concepts. Myself Lakshmi Prishanti. In this video, I want to discuss about the concept of ionic bond or ionic bonding. In my previous videos, I explained about the covalent bond, what are the properties, what are the factors that are available for the formation of covalent bond, etc. Now, in this video, I will give the details about the ionic bond. First, the bond which is formed by the ions. Here we are having two types of ions. One is cation and the one is anion. For example, if we are having, if we take an example as hydrogen molecule. Hydrogen molecule means H2. If it is cation, then we can write it as H plus. If it is anion, we can write it as H minus, hydride ion. So that means here hydrogen is having 1s1 electronic configuration or atomic number is 1. If it loses one of its electron from the total number of electrons, then we can call it as cation. And if it gains one electron, or if one electron is added to its nucleus or to valence shell, then it is anion. Okay, so the attractive force, this is positive charge, this is negative charge. For example, what is the compound which is ionic? Na plus Cl minus, sodium chloride, that is the salt which we daily use in our food items, right? This is we can use in our daily life. Sodium chloride, that is salt. Here sodium having positive charge, chlorine is having negative charge. That means it is having one, if it loses its one electron, sodium gets a inert gas configuration, and the chlorine is present in 17th group element. That's why if it gains an electron, then it acquires the inert gas configuration. That's here also same. To acquire the octet configuration or inert gas configuration, if the bond formation takes place by the transfer of electrons, that means here one electron is moving or giving by the sodium and taking by the chlorine. That means transferring of one electron from sodium towards chlorine. Then both the atoms acquire the configuration, stable configuration, they form a bond. So the bond which is formed by the transfer of electrons, then we call it as ionic bond. What about covalent bond? The bond which is formed by the sharing of electrons. That means that electrons will be used for both the atoms. It will be countable for both the atoms. Here one of the electron is moved from one atom to another atom. Okay. Once we will see the definition. See the definition. The electrostatic attraction. Electrostatic attraction means the attraction between positive and negative charges. The electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions or between two atoms. With different electronegativity. That means there is a large difference between the electronegativity values of the two atoms. Then we call it as ionic bond. Or simply we can write a definition for ionic bond. The bond which is formed by the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal. Metal means which are present in S block, 1s and 2s, first period and first group and second group. That means S block elements. They can lose its electrons easily. Highly electropositive elements are nothing but metals, and non-metal ready to gain an electron. Highly electronegative elements, positive and negative elements. Metals to a non-metal to obtain a stable configuration. What is meant by stable configuration? Either to get octet configuration or to get a inert gas configuration for both the atoms. So the bond formed by the transfer of electrons from a metal to a non-metal to get a stable configuration to both atoms. Then we can call it as ionic bond. What are the examples? Sodium chloride NaCl, magnesium sulfate, that means Mg plus 2 and SO4 minus 2, and KCl, K plus and Cl minus. CSF means, KCl means potassium cyanide. CSF means cesium fluoride, cesium plus and F minus. Here ammonium sulfate, NH4 plus and SO4 minus 2, Na plus and Cl minus. Sodium chloride, Na plus and F minus, sodium fluoride. I think the definition for ionic bond is clear, right? Once go through the definition. Simply the bond which is formed by the transfer of electrons from metal to non-metal to get a stable configuration for both the atoms is known as ionic bond. In ionic bond, there is a formation of positive ion and negative ion. Positive ion is nothing but cation and negative ion is nothing but anion. Always the size of the cation is smaller than its parent atom and the size of the anion is larger than its parent atom. Why? Because they losing of an electron, so that size of the atom will decrease, and another case anion gaining of electrons, there is more space, electron is added to the next shell, that's why. So this is clear about the definition of ionic bond. Like, share with your friends and subscribe. Thank you.